August 6, 1945. A man steps off a train in the Japanese city of Hiroshima. He's tired, injured, and just wants to go home. But within seconds, a blinding flash fills the sky. A nuclear bomb explodes above the city, turning it into hell on Earth. Miraculously, he survives. 3 days later, he arrives in another city. That city is Nagasaki. And unbelievably, history is about to repeat itself. This is the true story of the only man officially recognized as surviving both atomic bombings. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. In the summer of 1945, Yamaguchi was a 29-year-old engineer working for Mitsubishi. He had spent several months in Hiroshima on a business trip and was preparing to return home to Nagasaki. On the morning of August 6th, he was walking toward the shipyard when something strange happened. He heard the sound of an airplane overhead. Looking up, he saw a single American B-29 bomber flying across the sky. Moments later, a small object detached from the plane and began falling. Then, a flash brighter than the sun exploded above the city. The bomb, later known as Little Boy, detonated about 600 meters above Hiroshima. The temperature instantly soared to thousands of degrees. Buildings disintegrated, people vanished. A shockwave slammed Yamaguchi into a nearby ditch. He remembers seeing a massive mushroom cloud rising into the sky while the city burned around him. His eardrums had burst, his face and arms were badly burned, but somehow he was still alive. Nearly 140,000 people would eventually die from the Hiroshima bombing, yet Yamaguchi managed to survive the blast. Despite his injuries, Yamaguchi did something almost unbelievable. The very next day, he searched the ruins of Hiroshima for a working train. Against all odds, one train line was still operating. Covered in bandages and barely able to hear, he boarded the train back to his hometown, Nagasaki. Imagine that journey. The world's first atomic bombing had just happened. Cities were destroyed, people were burned and terrified, and yet this injured man traveled hundreds of kilometers just to get home to his wife and child. When he finally arrived, his family was shocked by his condition, but he insisted on doing one thing the next morning. He went to work. On August 9th, Yamaguchi was sitting in his office at the Mitsubishi shipyard. He was trying to explain to his boss what had happened in Hiroshima, but his story sounded impossible. A single bomb destroying an entire city. His boss reportedly told him something like, "That's ridiculous. One bomb can't destroy a city." Then, at 11:02 a.m., another blinding flash filled the sky. The United States had dropped a second atomic bomb. This one was called Fat Man. It exploded above Nagasaki with devastating force. Once again, Yamaguchi was thrown to the ground by the blast. Once again, buildings collapsed. Once again, a mushroom cloud rose over a burning city. And somehow, for the second time in 3 days, Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived. The Nagasaki bombing killed around 70,000 people. 3 days later, Japan surrendered. World War II was finally over. Yamaguchi spent weeks recovering from radiation sickness and severe burns. For decades, he lived quietly in Japan, but his story slowly became known around the world. In 2009, the Japanese government officially recognized him as a double hibakusha person who survived both atomic bombings. He remains the only person officially recorded to have experienced both explosions and lived. Tsutomu Yamaguchi lived until 2010, reaching the age of 93. He spent his later years speaking about the horrors of nuclear weapons and the importance of peace. His life is one of the most extraordinary survival stories in human history. A man who stood beneath 2 nuclear explosions and lived to tell the story. Sometimes history sounds unbelievable, but this time, it really happened.